We are starting a new chapter. This is World War I. It is finally here. Okay, I know a lot of you have been looking forward to it. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Number one, okay, catalyst. You might have heard this word in science class. Okay, a catalyst is an event that starts a reaction or a larger event. So, for instance, okay, let's take a gun for instance. All right, what is the catalyst for a gun firing? Well, pulling the trigger, right? So you pull the trigger, the hammer falls, it strikes the primer, which ignites the powder, which sends the bullet down the rifle barrel and out the bore. That's like 5 different things, but what did it start with? It started with the pulling of the trigger. Well, the reason why we have this is because we need to know what the trigger was that got pulled to start World War I. It's a main leak question. It was, what is the catalyst of World War I? And it's going to be one of your questions on this test. All right, no man's land. The deadly area between the trenches of opposing armies. Okay, a trench is a ditch, basically. And armies would hide in them so they wouldn't get hit by machine gun fire in World War I. Well, between this army's ditch and this army's ditch is a battleground. And that place nobody owned, and they called it no man's land. And the dead bodies piled up there for 4 long years in France. All right, nationalism. I think we had this word before on your basic U.S. history vocabulary. Nationalism is extreme loyalty to one's country. It's patriotism, but it's extreme. It's saying my country is the best country on this planet. Well, the problem is that if everybody thinks that their country is the best one on the planet, well, the question is, who should lead the planet then? Well, that question is going to lead to war, because if everybody's fighting to be the leader, we're going to have a war, okay? So, Franz Ferdinand, the assassination of this individual was the primary cause of World War I. This is the catalyst, okay? This is the catalyst. So, Franz Ferdinand is from a country called Austria-Hungary at the time, and he gets assassinated by a Serbian. And what they didn't know is that Austria had allies, and back and forth it went, and we're going to tell you the story about how everybody ended up at war, okay? Last one of the day, of the chapter, well, not chapter, video, I should say, Francisco Pancho Villa, okay? Normally, people just call him Pancho Villa. So, this Mexican bandit raided American towns, forcing America's military to chase him. Pancho Villa wanted to have a revolution in Mexico. He wanted to kick out the ruler of Mexico and become the king of Mexico, basically. So, in order to do that, he had to raise an army. In order to raise an army, you have to have finances. And we had taken a bunch of land from Mexico. So Francisco Pancho Villa thought that we owed them money for that land. So he didn't mind raiding American trains. So basically him and his bandits, they got together and they did train robberies, okay, all throughout the Southwest, and they killed a bunch of Americans. Now, General Blackjack Pershing from the last chapter, the guy with the bacon bullets, if you remember, he was tasked to chase down Pancho Villa in Mexico. And while Germany and France and Britain were all fighting in World War I, we were busy chasing down Pancho Villa, so it kind of delayed our entry into the war. It was one of the reasons why we didn't go into World War I until the very end.